So
Yeah.
Let's go, bro. Game
an
pertama.
option.
I mean,
Might be an option.
Dian Yaoguai
I mean, I guess we'll
versus
see it in practice
Influence,
once
right?
we're in.
But it is Paquito. Okay.
Kita lihat saja,
And
guys.
All
Ya.
right.
yeah.
The Selena for Syndrak, though, I mean, it is a comfort, and you might be right. I think they actually put the roam boots on the Selena because Paquito is experienced ahead of Syndrak.
I would love to see the boots or the items just to confirm that. That's huge, right? Can we see that on the item check? I don't know. But yeah, yeah, you're right. He just hit level 2. And this is exactly the trend we're seeing with Rome.
Gitu.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh.
So I guess they're trying to build a tanky glue from mid, non-stop clear, and then just get into action like what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, great catch there. That they were actually able to just move the roam boots onto the Selena instead. Or maybe they're juggling it around. We'll get to see once the items are up later on, but it seems like for the initial trade, they were able to give a little bit more EXP for that glue, unless maybe they both just didn't pack up roam boots just yet, but then that doesn't really explain why the Selena was in the lead. No, okay, so I think they just managed it well enough so that the initial bits of EXP would actually go into the glue and then the Selena. And then now it just balances out. So they're both level 3. All right, okay. I like their approach that they wanted to get a little bit more onto the glue beforehand. That way it's not going to be as difficult to catch up in terms of the farm. And great control in the center.
Ooh, look at that. ZZZ has to run out. Syndrak, though, is in trouble. That's first blood going over to Superkenn. All Superkenn was doing was waiting for that level 4, and he just really wanted to use that attack into the Selena. Very spicy or very crunchy target for Lancelot. So now, it's going to be a bit more tampering that you're going to have to do. Jotun, though, with a great steal onto that turtle, is now going to get away with an objective under his belt. Great comeback here from Influence Rage.
Yeah, really tough there that Dfyg Yaoguai just didn't have enough damage to rush the take of that turtle. Superkenn eventually got pressured there by Chino, who decided to lock him in with a curtain call. Even though we got to see Paquito doing a great job of stopping E1, it was way too much pressure on the Lancelot, and they were not able to cover all the bases, and eventually Superkenn just got taken down.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a better team fight here coming in from Influence Rage. Surprisingly, right? Like, how well are they managing this? Most of it is definitely coming off of the arrows of Syndrak here. For sure. And again, good usage of the shadow kill.
Yeah. I think it doesn't seem like Dfyg is also completely ready there for the threat of this glue. And I like how Paquito didn't hesitate at all to use the ultimate, grab right away onto the Grok. And Zed was just caught, and it seems like that seems to be the trend. It's just complete lockdown on the Grok.
Yeah, they're not letting the Grok breathe at all, so Zed's gonna go down. Yoon was not able to actually dodge out of the Abyssal Arrow. My goodness. And things are starting to fall apart really quickly here for Dfyg.
Yeah, I think we're really starting to see now the brilliance of putting the glue and Selena together in the center. Non-stop control. And it's stopping the Grok in every step of the way. Getting spotted, getting grabbed, getting arrowed. And with the Grok struggles, when the Roam struggles, the Juicin will struggle. Yi1 will have a hard time.
I mean, it's already struggling, right? With the difficulty of picking people up with the Lantern Flare, so additional layer after layer. So Dfyg said, you know what, let's speed it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and get this turtle as fast as possible, or the Lancelot can arrive, and he will get the turtle here. But to the detriment here of Yon, to get taken out. Dale just has enough regen from the passive to regen off of harm's way. That's a kill being given over. Dfyg, they're starting to slowly creep back up.
Wow, CC, Glue, Selena together. Almost a steal there by Fury, but Superkenn still gets his purple buff. Everything just sets up perfectly for the Hayabusa. The threat of the burst, the Abyssal Arrow, the Curtain Call, and the full-on Yo-Yo Blitz coming in from the CC. Shadow kill. DFYG's lineup right now is just out-controlled and out-damaged by Influence Rage across the board.
Yeah, 100%. So we're really seeing the perks of having the glue on Rome here.
Yeah.
Again, the Grok does have ways to deal with it. Despite, bit of a change on the Grok, by the way. You guys did read the patch notes. He's no longer crowd control immune. It's just during the tech charge, right? So, not like before when you're charging up your crowd control immune. So that's major, I guess.
Yes, really major. I think that's one of the things catching Zed off guard. So when he decides to use his skill without the control immunity anymore, it's actually just easier for the glue to lock in. And maybe that's what they were thinking about. The moment Influence Rage saw the Grok, they realized, wait, we could just play it this way. Let's just, stop the mighty swing, like getting charged up.
Yeah, I think the change there was specifically the mighty swing can't be interrupted, but Grok is not crowd controlling it anymore. So that's the change.
Yeah.
And it is major. It really is catching Zed off guard in some of these scenarios where normally you wouldn't mind crowd control. You can cash these arrows nonstop. But you know what? Syndrak knows that's not a thing anymore.
Zed, so much difficulty here for him to zone. However, Paquito taking a lot more damage here. The glue needs to be careful, but the good thing is once you go split, you are fine. Spread. Dfyg, they still have a really good shot at actually being able to contest this healthily, considering that they have the Moskov pushing down bot. They can turn it around with a great entry with the Spear of Destruction, although there's a grab.
Oh, big grab here coming in from the glue. Paquito, although there is just literally no follow-up, he is trying to zone up 3 members here. Dfyg, Superkenn close by, make that 4. This might be a bit of a race against time for Jotun, but he will still be able to get that turtle. It will not be a trigger on the Spear of Destruction, at least for now. Looks like a big pivot into the mid lane here for Dfyg. Has some decent damage, but despite the nerf on the Rhapsody, looks like the Granger is going to be able to clear out that wave and stop the push on mid.
I think little by little we're starting to see even more the overly systematic nature of Dfyg here. You see Influence Rage members splitting away even more. Of course, it's the benefit that you get when you have a Hayabusa in your team. If it looks like you're already good with the team fight, just make him go away with the Shadow, split push a side lane, apply more pressure there. CC's mobile as well, even though with the changes of her, she runs out of the stacks of her passive significantly faster. They don't stay. Still, you can rotate around the map much quicker as a CC. So Influence Rage is just making the most out of everything that they have and the things that are lacking on the lineup of Dfyg. Though this is still very close and there's a chance that you're just waiting for that one big team fight to turn towards Dfyg's way. That's something you always have to wait for when you are playing with a Moskov on your squad. But Superkenn needs to start winning some retro battles as well up against Jotun. The one they were able to win, the turtle they were able to win was just a free one for them. But even at the center, he's getting threatened right now by everything Influence Rage has.
Yeah. Speaking of threat, Jotun, of course, will be threatened here. And I love what you said. You know what? Waiting is absolutely what they need to do. But while they're waiting, they also could just get randomly hit by an arrow. So, wait a second. It's Vale on the back line. I think he got a hold of Fury here for a while. But look at that. Crimson Beacon already used up by Yon. And the Superkenn, pretty easy pick off there for Fury. Just has nowhere to go but out. And now it's going to be the chase on to Chino here. So at least losing one, that seems like the best case scenario already for Influence Rage. They're getting punished pretty hard. Except there is a split push on the bottom being done by Jotun. While all of this is happening, look at the mid lane. Just non-stop aggression here coming in from Jianfang Yao Guai. Mid lane turret will go down.
But you hear the threat again. Influence Rangers covering way too much ground through their Hayabusa. Jotun's playing the map incredibly well. See there now the effect. The Shadow significantly shorter range. Seems like Jotun might actually be stuck. He's already used all his Shadows.
Oh boy, that's a lot of Shadows already used up. Shadow kill as well. Nice try from Zed to try to catch him, maybe with the tech charge, but no one was home. And here comes that Spear of Destruction, getting ready to get popped any moment. But again, that's just going to be the split push threat removed here from Influence Rage. They know the fight they're getting into. There's no Moskov nearby, but somehow they just don't take the fights that they should. The survivability of that Zushin is still very much apparent despite the nerfs.
Yeah, similar as well to Syndrak. So able to eat a full combo from Superkenn, and Superkenn did
Yeah,
not do as much
Superkenn is
damage
such
as
a
I thought he
bounce,
would.
yeah.
So still trying to catch up with the items. Although
Yep.
still, again, very close game. Jago also has been already able to take down 2 turrets. They got the first turret down in mid. But again, that fact that there's 2 turrets down in one of their side lanes is going to be problematic for them. Because Influence Rage is defending their center very well.
Yeah.
Oh!
Woo! Paquito getting picked up here by Yon. Look at the back line as well. There's some multiple fights going on in this one. So they are still pretty much healthy. Got 5 members of Yangfeng Yaoguai going on a chase. Yon very low. Might want to make a run for the hills. Get some shade into the grass. And that actually will just fizzle out into just Paquito going down. Everyone just still wants to go for this Lord.
Yeah, good contention angle here. Dfyg might actually be able to take this. Seems like Influence Rage is a little bit more at risk here. Again, the threat of the Moskov. That top lane needs to be answered by the Hayabusa. I think they need to pull the trigger on the fight here, at least force something while the Hayabusa's up top, but they're playing a little bit too careful for my taste.
I think they already have that info, right? They should have that info. Trying to go for it still. The blitz is going on, but the team fight is actually being initiated by Yangfeng Yaoguai. Feels like a trap here. Fury on the side, Syndrak as well, trying to burst as much artillery as they can. But look at that. The damage is real coming in from Yon. He really split that up with the shadow kill. Here comes the hero play of Long. He's doing as much as he can, but I think he ran out of steam just at the very end. Able to dodge out. Look at Superkenn though. Great intro from the back, and now they are the one who are doing the hunting. Superkenn with a kill on Syndrak. That's a double for the Lancelot.
Superkenn,
Long
Superkenn.
and Superkenn keeping the sequence alive for Dfyg. I thought Long would get taken down. Good thing he was able to sidestep the Abyssal Arrow, and good thing Superkenn was able to rejoin the sequence, finishing off the kill, being able to take down Fury. Long is now deathless. He is stacked on items, and Fury's catching up. There's a 1.2k gold lead in favor of the Moskov, who now has the Wind of Nature.
Oh, you got to commend how well Long is actually doing this. You know what? Your initial analysis of this was right. Long really is becoming the hero of this lineup. Obviously flanked by Yon. Zed doing the play they need, and they're picking off the essential people here. Yon being handled by Vel as well. Nearly missing out on the SOD. So we've got a pretty easy Lord going over the Yangfeng Yaoguai. Now they are on the run. Influence Rage are just reeling from the hits non-stop coming in from Dfyg.
That's why they go for this Moskov. You don't need the carry, just get Long on his Moskov and he's gonna show up. 2-0 and 3. And of course, Yangfeng Yaoguai covering really good ground, controlling the river. I like this 2-2-1 split that they go on. Long will be able to get the tower down bottom. If ever they need a little bit more help for the Lord up top, they can go there. If ever Influence Rage aren't careful in mid, they might lose their tower there as well. Good map control by Dfyg. Although Influence Rage, they do have a comeback potential because they still have the raw damage that they can pump. Even though Fury is not completely caught up in the items, they still have the CC, Selena, and the Hayabusa together. So Dfyg need to watch out for any turnaround play, because if they get caught by that CC, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, big trouble for sure. Look at Paquito getting thrown around there. I think the value of the glue just going down further and further the longer this game is progressing. Look at Vel just absorbing all these hits. He's on the verge of death, but that is a Uranus, so I'm not going to be too convinced. And that just might be the trap that you're looking for. Look at Paquito getting trapped here. And again, just falling for it. Non-stop damage coming from the backline. Superkenn as well. Just making work happen. Jotun going down. That's 3v5 with some minion waves in the bottom and the mid part of the map. And now that base is within range. And Long on a mega kill. My goodness, the domination. You can feel it.
Timnya Superkenn dan Veldora kok.
Takes game number 1.
GG banget. Oke lah,
They
lanjut aja
just
buat game
needed
yang
the time and they
kedua
got
guys
it.
ya.
They played the
Nah, ini
patient
guys.
game.
Ini
Influence Rage
tempatnya
set
Skylar
the
tadi,
tempo,
bro.
but Dfyg
Oke,
matched it
itu Veldora,
and
itu Superkenn ya.
exceeded it.